Marcus Whitmore's in the elevator right now, coming to his office, where Cara Santos is holding a letter she stole from his files 20 minutes ago. A letter that says he's been lying to her since the day they met, that their entire relationship, 8 months of falling in love, was built on a lie. Someone wanted her to fail, wanted her destroyed, and Marcus knew. He's got 30 seconds to get there. She's got 30 seconds to decide, stay and hear his truth, or run. Door handle turning, too late. February 14th, the Architectural Digest Winter Gala. 200 of Boston's most accomplished architects pretending they liked each other. Cara Santos was there for survival. Her firm, Santos & Klein, had 6 months of operating capital left, 3 employees depending on her, and exactly 1 shot at landing a client big enough to keep them afloat. Catherine Chen, Old Boston money, $2 million brownstone restoration, her target. Cara had rehearsed her pitch 50 times. When Mrs. Chen stopped near the dessert table, she made her move. 90 seconds. That's all she had. She talked about the brownstone's 1887 architecture, the morning light in the renovated solarium, preservation meeting transformation. Mrs. Chen was nodding, taking her card, interested. That's when she felt it. Someone watching. She glanced up, across the room, near the bar. Him. Tall, dark-haired, expensive suit that probably cost more than her rent, mid to late 20s, standing with another architect, not looking at his companion, looking at her. His expression, she couldn't read it. Amused, critical, something that made her stand straighter. Mrs. Chen left, promising to review the proposal. Cara felt good, confident. Then she heard it. Male voice. Marcus, distant but clear. Tries too hard, really. She froze. Champagne glass halfway to her lips. Marcus. She's talented, obviously, but you can see the effort. Like she's constantly proving she belongs here. Cara turned, found him in the crowd. He still wasn't looking at her, casually discussing her pitch like she was a performance, something to evaluate and dismiss. She walked to the bar, ordered whiskey, asked the bartender one question. Who is he? Bartender. That's Marcus Whitmore. Whitmore and Associates. You know, the Whitmores. She knew. Everyone knew the Whitmores. Richard Whitmore, Boston architectural royalty. 3 generations of legacy. Buildings in textbooks. The firm that designed half the city's landmarks. This was his son. Marcus Whitmore had watched Cara pitch for 4.5 minutes and decided she was trying too hard to prove she belonged. Here's what you need to know about people like Cara Santos, first-generation college students who clawed their way into rooms they weren't supposed to enter. They know when they're being dismissed. Tries too hard means she doesn't belong, and everyone can tell. Cara finished her whiskey, left without saying goodbye, and made a decision in the car ride home. Marcus Whitmore was now her enemy, the personification of everything she'd spent her life fighting: privilege, assumption, casual dismissal. She didn't know yet that 2 weeks later, fate would lock them in the same office for 12 months, unable to escape each other. Or that 6 months after that, she'd find evidence suggesting their meeting was never random at all. Monday morning, 9 a.m. Patricia Klein, Cara's boss and firm founder, called her in early. Never a good sign. Patricia looked exhausted, the kind that comes from bad news you've been carrying alone. Patricia, I have news, great news actually. The Waterfront Revival Project, $50 million. We're in. Impossible. They'd submitted a proposal 6 months ago as a formality. They had no chance against firms like Whitmore and Associates. Patricia, there's a catch. It's a collaboration. You're co-leading with Whitmore and Associates. The lead architects are you and Marcus Whitmore. Cara refused, told Patricia about the gala comment, said she couldn't work with someone who'd already decided she was a fraud. Patricia, what if this is your chance to prove something to yourself? 12 months. Your name on the most significant Boston project in a decade. After this, you won't need anyone's approval. Patricia was right. Cara hated that she was right. When do I start? Friday, 9 a.m. Whitmore's office. Cara spent 4 days researching Marcus Whitmore. Yale School of Architecture. Thesis won the Lowenstein Prize. 3 major projects before 30. All successful, all safe. Beautiful designs, technically perfect, absolutely devoid of risk. Then she found an interview from 6 months earlier. Question: what's the biggest challenge facing modern architecture? Marcus's answer: the influx of architects more concerned with making statements than making spaces people can use. There's a performative quality to modern design that prioritizes ego over function. Performative, the exact word he'd use about Cara 2 weeks later. This wasn't casual observation. This was his philosophy. Cara was exactly the kind of architect Marcus despised. Perfect. Because Marcus was exactly the kind she was about to prove wrong. Friday, 8:57 a.m. Cara arrived at Whitmore and Associates 3 minutes early. Glass, steel, minimalist furniture, walls covered in framed architectural photography. Every project a monument to Whitmore excellence. Receptionist: Ms. Santos, conference room, B, 3rd floor. They're waiting. She was last to arrive. Marcus had won the first round. 12 people around the table. Marcus at the head. He stood when she entered. Navy suit, white shirt, no tie, taller than she remembered. Marcus: Ms. Santos, welcome. I've been looking forward to this collaboration. He gestured to the seat across from him. Not beside him as equals. Across from him. Like a negotiation. A duel. She shook his hand. Grip firm, warm. She let go first. The next hour was passive warfare. Marcus presented his vision for the waterfront. Classical revival. Brick and limestone. Honoring maritime history. Safe. Predictable. Cara's turn. Glass pavilions. Open plazas. Bold geometry reflecting water and sky. Modern. Forward-thinking. Everything his wasn't. Marcus: interesting approach. In Marcus Whitmore's vocabulary, interesting meant wrong. Cara called him on it. Marcus: we have different philosophies. I believe in respecting history, the bones of what's already there. Our job is to honor it, not erase it. Cara: and I believe in evolution. History doesn't mean stagnation. This district has been dying for 20 years because everyone's too afraid to let it become something new. Marcus: new for the sake of new isn't progress. It's ego. There it was. Ego. The word Marcus used for architects like Cara. She stood, established ground rules. They were equals on this project. When they disagreed, they'd discuss it, not dismiss each other with words like ego and interesting approach. Marcus: fair enough. And you won't assume my perspective is limited to protecting my family's legacy. He'd read her too, knew exactly what she thought of him. They agreed, started over, designed this together, not her vision or his, theirs. Cara didn't trust the reasonableness, but she sat. Because something happened when their eyes met across that table. Same feeling as the gala, that tightness in her chest, that awareness of him. She ignored it, shoved it down. Marcus Whitmore was the enemy. What Cara didn't know was that Marcus had received a letter the day before, from someone she'd never heard of, suggesting she was unqualified, a liability, that he should do everything in his power to make her quit. That letter is in Cara's hands right now. Marcus is in the elevator, coming to explain 6 months of secrets. But first, the 12 weeks that came next, the only reason she's still standing there, holding evidence of betrayal, not sure if she should run or wait for the truth. Weeks 1 through 4 were war, polite war, professional war, but war. Every decision became a battle. Materials, layouts, color palettes. Marcus wanted brick. Cara wanted glass. He wanted traditional street grids. She wanted organic pedestrian flows. Their teams took sides. The conference room became a gladiator arena. But here's what Cara didn't expect. Marcus never fought dirty. Every argument was substantive, backed by research, precedent, logic. He listened when she spoke, actually listened, would pause, consider, sometimes rarely, but sometimes concede a point. It was infuriating, because it's easy to hate someone who's wrong, much harder to hate someone who's right. Week 5, Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Everyone else had gone home. Just Marcus and Cara, reviewing structural engineering reports in silence for 2 hours. Marcus, can I ask you something? Why architecture? For you specifically. Cara could have deflected, should have. Instead, she told him the truth. She grew up in a 3-room apartment in Dorchester. Her mom, her younger brother. Her mother worked 3 jobs, no space. Everything compressed. Survival mode constantly. When she was 14, she went to the MFA on a school trip, saw how light moved through the courtyard, how space could make you feel expansive, safe, like you had room to breathe. She realized space shapes you, and she wanted to shape it back. Create spaces where people like her mom could breathe. Marcus, that's beautiful, really. He wasn't being polite, he meant it. Cara asked why he wanted to know. Because I wanted to know if you chose architecture or if it chose you. Which is it for you? Cara, which is it for you? Marcus, I'm still figuring that out. Vulnerable for exactly 3 seconds. Then the wall went back up. It was late. They should call it. But something had shifted that night. Cara started watching Marcus differently. Week 6. She noticed Marcus brought coffee for the entire team every Tuesday. Knew everyone's order, including hers. Oat milk latte, 1 sugar. She'd never told him. Week 7. Junior architect Julia pitched an amphitheater design. Marcus spent 20 minutes praising her work. Later, Cara saw his handwriting in the margins of the original sketch. He'd helped Julia, refined it, made it better, then given her full credit. Week 8. Marcus's father called during a site visit. Marcus stepped away, but Cara heard pieces. Marcus, voicing strained, distant. Dad, I'm handling it. No, I don't need your input on personnel. She's qualified. I said I'm handling it. When he returned, his jaw was tight, professional smile back in place. But Cara saw it, the weight he carried, the legacy he couldn't escape. Week 9. They had their first real breakthrough, a design for the central plaza that combined his classical bones with her modern skin. It was perfect, better than either of them could have done alone. They stayed late celebrating, ordered terrible Chinese food, laughed about the pompous city councilman who kept calling glass newfangled. Marcus did an impression. Cara discovered he was funny, and in that moment, sitting on the conference room floor surrounded by sketches and spring rolls, she realized something terrifying. She didn't hate Marcus Whitmore anymore. She had no idea what she felt, but it wasn't hate. Cara reached for a document, same time as Marcus. Their hands touched. Neither of them moved. 3 seconds. 3 seconds of contact that lit up her entire nervous system. Marcus. Sorry, Cara. No, I should. Marcus. It's late. Cara. Yeah. They stood there, 3 feet apart. Might as well have been 3 inches. The air felt electric. Dangerous. Marcus. I need to. Family thing. He left. Cara stayed, sat in that empty conference room for 30 minutes, trying to understand what had just happened. That's when she saw it, his leather portfolio on the table. He'd forgotten it. She should have left it, should have texted him, should have done anything except what she did next. Inside were project notes, design sketches. Normal. And then, a letter. Addressed to Marcus, dated January 28th, 3 weeks before their project started. Dear Mr. Whitmore, it has come to our attention that you'll be working with Cara Santos on the Waterfront Revival Project. We felt it necessary to provide certain information regarding Ms. Santos's qualifications and history. Ms. Santos, while ambitious, lacks the pedigree and experience for a project of this magnitude. Her firm is financially unstable. Her designs, while creative, consistently prioritize aesthetics over structural integrity. There have been complaints from previous clients regarding her aggressive approach and unwillingness to compromise. We strongly advise you to take a leadership role in this collaboration. Do not let Ms. Santos's inexperience jeopardize this important project. Consider this a professional courtesy from those who have worked with her before. Signed, the Boston Architecture Advisory Board. A board Cara had never heard of, a board that didn't exist. Someone had fabricated this, created an entire organization just to send Marcus this poison, to make him distrust her before they even started. And Marcus had kept it, carried it in his portfolio for 3 months, never told her. Cara took a photo of the letter, put everything back exactly as she found it, and left. Cara didn't sleep that night, couldn't stop thinking. Someone wanted her to fail, wanted Marcus to undermine her, and he'd known for 3 months. But here's what didn't make sense. Marcus hadn't acted on the letter, hadn't taken over the project, hadn't marginalized her. If anything, he'd done the opposite, treated her as an equal, defended her work, fought beside her, not against her. So why keep the letter? Why not tell her? Why carry evidence of someone's attempt to destroy her and say nothing? Text from Marcus, 2 a.m. Left my portfolio at the office. Don't suppose you saw it. Cara stared at that text for 5 minutes, typed and deleted 6 responses, finally sent, "It's here. I'll bring it tomorrow." His response was immediate. "Thank you, and Cara? About earlier." 3 dots appearing, disappearing, appearing. "Never mind. See you tomorrow." About earlier, the moment their hands touched. He'd felt it too. Cara was falling for someone who might have been lying to her for 3 months. Friday morning, Cara gave Marcus his portfolio. Conference room, 15 people around the table. Safe, public. Marcus, "Thank you. I was panicking last night." Cara, "Everything important still in there?" Marcus held her eyes for 3 seconds, long enough for her to see something flicker. Uncertainty. Guilt. Marcus, "Everything important." He knew. Somehow he knew she'd seen the letter. They worked 18-hour days that week, refined every detail. The design was extraordinary. Her modern vision, his classical restraint, merged into something neither could have created alone. Friday, March 26th, midnight, still at the office. Just the two of them. Marcus was drawing modifications on the amphitheater, reading glasses slipping down his nose, hair disheveled for the first time ever, sleeves rolled up. Cara was watching him instead of working. Dangerous territory. Marcus, "You're staring." Cara, "You have charcoal on your face." Marcus, "Where?" Cara, "Left cheek." "No, other left." He tried to wipe it, made it worse. She laughed. First real laugh in weeks. Marcus, "That bad? Show me." She stood, walked to his side of the table. Dangerous, stupid, necessary. She reached up, wiped the charcoal from his cheek with her thumb. His skin was warm. He'd gone very still. And then she whispered the question. Cara, "Marcus, why didn't you tell me about the letter?" "You saw it." Cara, 3 weeks ago, the night you left your portfolio." Marcus closed his eyes, jaw tight. When he opened them, devastation. Marcus, Cara, why didn't you act on it? Why didn't you sideline me like they wanted?" Marcus, "Because it was garbage. Lies designed to manipulate me. I'd seen your work. I watched you at the gala. I knew that letter was from someone threatened by you." Cara, "So why keep it? Why not just throw it away?" Marcus, "Because I wanted to know who sent it. I've been trying to trace it for 3 months. The Boston Architecture Advisory Board doesn't exist. Anonymous mail, no return address, no digital footprint. Someone went to extraordinary lengths to sabotage you, and I couldn't tell you without proof because I didn't want you to look at me the way you're looking at me right now." Cara, "How am I looking at you?" Marcus, "Like you're deciding whether to trust me." They were inches apart. His hand came up, hovered near her face, not quite touching. "I should have told you. I was trying to protect you, but I should have told you." "Protect me from what?" "From whoever's trying to hurt you. From my father. From this." He kissed her, or she kissed him. Neither of them knew who moved first. Didn't matter. His hands in her hair, her back against the desk. 3 months of tension combusting in seconds. Marcus, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have." Cara, Don't apologize for the first honest thing you've done in 3 months." Marcus, "There are things you don't know." About why I'm really on this project, about my father, about his father. Fifth call that day. Marcus, I have to take this. Dad, this isn't a good time. No, I haven't. Dad, listen. Cara stood there, lips still burning, heart still racing, and something clicked in her mind. The letter, the mysterious board, the timing, Marcus's father. Marcus, I'm sorry. He's been calling all week about the presentation. He wants to review our design before we present to the council. Cara, Marcus, does your father want this project to fail? Marcus, what? Cara, your father. Does he want me off this project? Marcus, he has concerns about the collaboration, about mixing firms with different philosophies. Cara, you mean different pedigrees. Did your father send that letter? Marcus's face told her everything. He didn't send it himself, but he knew about it. Cara, how long have you known? Marcus, Cara, please. Cara, how long? Since week 2. Week 2, 2 months ago. He'd known for 2 months that his father tried to sabotage her. Cara, I need you to leave. Marcus, let me explain. Cara, there's nothing to explain. Your father wanted me to fail. You knew, and you said nothing. Marcus, I didn't act on it. I fought him, Cara. Every day for 2 months I've been fighting him. By lying to me? By pretending you didn't know? By kissing me while keeping this secret? Marcus, that kiss wasn't pretending. Cara, how would I know what's real with you? Marcus, because if it wasn't real, I wouldn't still be here. I would have walked away from this project. From you. From everything. But I couldn't. Cara, you couldn't what? Marcus, you're the first thing in my life that's mine. Not my father's. Not the firm's. Mine. And I've been terrified of losing it since the moment we met. But I should have trusted you with the truth. I'm sorry. Cara, I need time. How much time? I don't know. Marcus, the presentation is in 6 days. Cara, then you have 6 days to decide if you're going to keep lying or tell me everything. Cara didn't go home that night, went to the waterfront instead. 3 a.m., freezing, rain turning to sleet. Their site, half-built structures casting shadows, their design taking shape in steel and concrete. She stood where the central plaza would be, where she and Marcus had argued for 6 weeks, where they'd finally compromised. And she realized something. She'd been asking the wrong question, not whether Marcus betrayed her. Why? Why would Richard Whitmore want her to fail? What did he gain from sabotaging a $50 million project? What was she missing? Her phone, 11 missed calls, Marcus mostly, and 1 text sent 20 minutes earlier. Cara, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I found something. About the letter. About my father. We need to talk. Please, it's not what you think. She answered. Cara, it's 3 a.m. Marcus, I know, I'm sorry. Where are you? Cara, that's not your business anymore. Marcus, Cara, please, just listen. It wasn't my father. Cara, what? Marcus, the letter. It wasn't from my father. He knew about it, yes, but he didn't send it. Cara, then who? Marcus, where are you? I'm coming to you. This is too important for the phone. Cara, the waterfront site, Central Plaza. Marcus, I'm 15 minutes away. She waited, 13 minutes, counting every second, half hoping he wouldn't come, half terrified he wouldn't. Marcus, Cara, he was soaked, no coat, just the button down from earlier plastered to his skin from rain. Hair dripping. He'd run from wherever he'd parked. Cara, talk? Marcus pulled out his phone, pulled up an email, handed it to her. Marcus, I got this 2 hours ago, from a private investigator I hired 5 weeks ago. Cara read, Mr. Whitmore, after extensive research into the February letter you provided, I've traced the source to the following individual. Catherine Chen. Mrs. Chen, the client from the gala, the woman Cara had pitched, the woman who'd smiled and taken her card. Cara, this doesn't make sense. Marcus, keep reading. Ms. Chen had previously worked with Whitmore and Associates on a failed project in 2023. The relationship ended in litigation. She blamed your father personally for cost overruns and design flaws. The letter sent to you appears to be retaliation, an attempt to damage both your professional reputation and your father's by association. She selected Ms. Santos as the target based on public records, showing Santos and Klein's participation in the waterfront bid. The goal was to create internal conflict that would cause the project to fail, thereby embarrassing Whitmore and Associates publicly. Mrs. Chen, the sweet old woman with old Boston money, had fabricated an entire conspiracy, created a fake organization, written a poison letter, all to hurt Richard Whitmore by destroying his son's career, using Cara as a weapon. Cara, your father knew about this? Marcus, not at first. When he got a copy of the letter, someone sent it to him too. He assumed it was legitimate. He has biases, Cara. He made assumptions about you based on pedigree and background. But when I hired the investigator and found this, I confronted him 2 hours ago. He's the one who told me about the Chen lawsuit. He'd been protecting me from it. Didn't want me to know his past mistakes were affecting my career. We had it out, really out. The kind of fight we should have had years ago. Cara. And I told him that you were the best thing that's happened to my career, that I was in love with you, and that if he couldn't accept that, he could find himself another legacy to control. Cara stared at him, rain soaking them both, those words hanging in the air. He told his father he loved her. Cara, you told him you loved me. I told him the truth I should have told you weeks ago. I'm in love with you, Cara. I've been in love with you since week 3, when you called my father's design philosophy architectural taxidermy, and I had to leave the room so no one would see me laughing. I'm in love with the way you fight for your ideas, the way you make me want to be better than the person I was raised to be. I'm in love with you, and I'm terrified I've destroyed any chance of you feeling the same way. Cara stood there, soaking wet, heart pounding, every wall she'd built crumbling. Cara, you're an idiot, Marcus. What? Cara, you hired a private investigator 5 weeks ago, which means you've been trying to protect me for 5 weeks. And you didn't think I deserved to know that? Marcus, I didn't have proof. I didn't want to worry you without. Cara, I don't need protecting, Marcus. I need a partner. Someone who trusts me with the truth, even when it's messy. You're right. Cara, I know I'm right. I'm also in love with you, you idiot. Marcus, what? You heard me. Marcus, say it again. Cara, I'm in love with you. Have been since week 8 when you stayed up all night helping Julia with her portfolio, even though you had that presentation the next morning, when you gave credit to everyone but yourself. When you showed me that pride isn't about where you come from, it's about who you choose to be. You chose to be kind, real, honest eventually. I'm in love with you, Marcus Whitmore, and I'm furious at you for making me fall. Marcus, I'll spend the rest of my life making that up to you. Cara, the rest of your life is a long time. Marcus, not long enough. April 1st, fitting date for what happened next. The city council chambers were packed, press, other architects, stakeholders. And in the third row, Richard Whitmore, Marcus's father, watching, council president. We'll now hear from the Waterfront Revival Project team, Santos and Klein and Whitmore and Associates. Cara and Marcus walked to the front together, their design on the screen behind them. 3 months of work, 3 months of fighting and compromise and falling in love, all reduced to 45 minutes of presentation. Marcus, members of the council, what you're about to see is a design that honors Boston's maritime heritage while embracing its future. Cara, we started with a simple question. What does this waterfront want to be? They presented as one voice. Marcus talking about historical preservation, Cara about innovative materials, back and forth, seamless. The design was stunning, brick and glass, old and new, bold and restrained. Everything they'd argued about for 3 months resolved. Marcus, the central plaza combines classical proportions with contemporary materials. Limestone pavers arranged in patterns that reference historic maritime routes. But the pavilion structures use parametric design, allowing light and air to flow in ways that honor how people actually use public space. Cara, it's not my vision or Marcus's vision, it's ours, and we believe it's stronger because of that collaboration. Marcus and Cara, this is the waterfront Boston deserves. Thank you. The council members were nodding, impressed. They'd done it. Council member, Mr. Whitmore, Miss Santos, I understand this collaboration was challenging. Different firms, different philosophies. How did you make it work? Marcus, by being willing to be wrong, and by finding a partner who made being wrong feel like progress. Cara, and by realizing that the best designs don't come from one vision, they come from the tension between two visions, the space where disagreement becomes dialogue. Council President, beautiful answer. We'll deliberate and announce our decision by end of week. Thank you both. Patricia hugged Cara. Julia from her team was crying happy tears. Other architects approached with sincere praise. And then Richard Whitmore, walking toward them, Marcus tensed beside Cara. Richard, Marcus, Miss Santos, that was exceptional work. I mean it. That design is better than anything Whitmore and Associates has produced in 5 years. He looked at Cara directly. Miss Santos, I owe you an apology. I made assumptions about your qualifications based on prejudice. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Cara could have been gracious, could have accepted it simply. Instead, Cara, you were wrong about more than my qualifications, Mr. Whitmore. You were wrong about what makes a good architect. It's not pedigree, it's not legacy, it's vision and willingness to grow. Marcus has both, whether you see it or not. For the first time, Richard Whitmore smiled. A real smile. Richard. He gets that from his mother. He extended his hand to Cara. I hope we can start over. Cara shook his hand, not because she forgave him yet, but because Marcus deserved a chance at a real relationship with his father. Cara. We'll see. September 23rd, 6 months after the presentation, 4 months after the council approved their design, 2 months into construction, 1 month after Cara and Marcus signed the lease on their new office, the central plaza was finished, first completed section of the waterfront, brick and glass catching the sunset, exactly as they'd imagined it. Better, actually. Marcus. There you are. Marcus. Carrying 2 coffees. He'd remembered. Oat milk latte, 1 sugar. Marcus. What are you thinking about? Cara. About how wrong I was. Marcus. About the plaza design? Because I will never let you forget that I was right about the pavilion spacing. Cara. Not about the design. About you. That night at the gala. I heard you say I tried too hard, and I decided you were my enemy. Decided everything about you before knowing anything true. I was so convinced I had you figured out. Marcus. To be fair, I gave you every reason to think that. Cara. You really didn't. I just refused to see anything that contradicted my assumptions. I was prejudiced, Marcus, against your background, your privilege, your name. I'm sorry for that. Marcus. And I was proud, too proud to admit my father was controlling my life, too proud to ask for help, too proud to tell you the truth when I should have. Seems like we were both pretty flawed. Cara. Seems like. Marcus. Want to stay flawed together? Cara. For how long? Marcus pulled something from his pocket, a small velvet box, inside a ring. Vintage. Art Deco. Exactly what Cara would have chosen. Marcus. I was thinking, indefinitely. Cara Santos, will you marry me? Cara. You want to marry someone who misjudged you? Marcus. I want to marry someone who had the courage to change her mind, to see past first impressions, to fight with me and for me and beside me. I want to marry my best friend, my partner, the person who makes me better. Cara. Yes. He slipped the ring on her finger. Perfect fit. Of course it was. They walked through their plaza hand in hand, past the brick they'd fought about, past the glass she'd insisted on, past the fountain that was both their ideas. Here's what most people don't understand about love. They think it's about finding someone perfect, someone who never frustrates you or challenges you or makes you question everything. But that's not love. That's just easy. Love is finding someone who sees your flaws and chooses you anyway. Someone who makes you want to be better than you were. Someone who proves that first impressions are just that. First, Cara Santos met Marcus Whitmore on February 14th, decided he was her enemy on February 14th, started falling in love with him on March 7th, admitted it on March 26th, said yes to forever on September 23rd. Pride almost kept her from knowing him. Prejudice almost kept her from loving him. But curiosity, the thing that makes us human, made her look past her assumptions. Made her ask, what if I'm wrong? Best question she ever asked. And every day, Cara and Marcus give each other new reasons to fall in love all over again. Have you ever completely misjudged someone? What made you see them differently? Share your story in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more stories.